Tonight we are going to talk about Alex Pretti. He is the good nurse that the left-wing media is saying or claiming that he was such a good nurse. But after I see the second video, Alex Pretti is nothing more than a foul-mouthed nurse. Every other word is an interjection. He has no other verb or adjective to describe what he's saying. Suppose you were a patient of Alex Pretti, and then you saw this reel on television, and then he was going to be your nurse. I think you would vomit. Alex Pretti was nothing more than a foul-mouthed nurse. Now, do you see a behavior of a good nurse, or even a good human right there? How can a nurse spit on someone? This guy, did he take any class in biology? How can you spit on someone and calling yourself a nurse? That's the most despicable thing to do. And if you are a nurse, or a good nurse, as the media claimed that he was, why would he be spitting on anyone? No matter how you disagree with their point of view, you wouldn't spit on no one. If you are a good nurse and then you spit on someone, you should lose your license to practice, because that is one of the ways that can spread germs and diseases. And a nurse should have known that they can't go around and spit on anyone. That's spreading disease. What kind of nurse was this guy? Certainly not a good nurse as the left media portrayed him to be. In my book, he's a foul-mouthed nurse. That's what I see. This was the first encounter when he faced off with ice, like 11 days before he was sadly unalive. But how could you take it on ice and then your rib, you suffered a broken rib, and then he still confronted armed police officers after that event? He's playing with fire. What's the odds that you keep on taking on the police, fighting the police, and expect to survive? After you play with fire more than once, you're gonna end up getting burned. And here is another example that this guy was not a good nurse. He suffered a broken rib, or probably two, and instead of resting in his bed, he is at the picketing line protesting and didn't even care whether he would get hurt again. So he's not practicing his profession. He is a good agitator, but not a good nurse. He's just a foul-mouthed nurse. And here you can see he's fully loaded 9mm, whatever he has on his hip. He brings a firearm to a political protest. How smart is that? Even with the Second Amendment, even common sense should tell you that you shouldn't provoke law enforcement. It's not going to end up in your favor. Sometimes when you're driving and you have the right of way and you see a pedestrian in your way, you just don't run them over because you got the right of way. Not a good human. You stop and let them pass. It's a thing called courtesy. If you are carrying, you should let the police officers know that you are carrying. The police officers is not doing things on their own. They are representing the city, the state, or the United States. So they are not just making up stuff as they go along, as most people think. They're just making up stuff. If you listen to these protesters, the only one who knows the law are the protesters. The police officers, they don't know the law, according to the agitators. How can you have the police officers who don't know the law? If the police officers don't know some law, what are they going to arrest you for? They just make it up when they arrest you, make it up out of their head. So they have some sense of what the law is. When they write you up, you go to court, and then the court decide if their judgment was right in booking you. And if the court decides that they were wrong, then they set you free. So here are where these protesters get things wrong. When a police is going on operation, their work environment is hazardous. Anything can happen. Wanted, when they're serving warrants, the people they're serving the warrants to can open fire on them. And if protesters are close to this environment, they can get caught up with stray bullets, just like the good nurse Alex Pretti. You just can't go into a hospital settings and demand to see what the doctors and the nurses are doing to a patient, even if that patient is your mom or a family member. There are boundaries in a hospital settings. Just likewise, there are boundaries when police officers are carrying out operations. You cannot just demand to see at a close proximity. You got to stay certain distance. Gunfire may erupt anytime, so you don't want to get caught in the middle of that. So these protesters are carrying on like hostile tribes. They just want to insert themselves into anything that they believe is correct. You can observe or protest or demand to see what the cops are doing, but you get to do it according to what the cop says, not what you say. When the cop says stay back or stay a distance, is to save your life. Just like if there's a fire and the fire department says stay back, it is to save your own life. So don't be a prick and blow in your whistles and carry on like little children, making a nuisance and a fool of yourself. Please remember to like and subscribe to this channel and let me hear what you think about this video in the comments below.